Broussard from First Things First joins us now. Chris, yesterday you and Shannon both said he should not have been suspended. So does this change your view of the incident?
Not at all. Not at all. I didn't think LeBron should be suspended, and I still feel that way because I don't think his act was intentional. All right, so that's why that was my rationale, that he didn't do it on purpose. And so I thought for something that's an accident, if you get ejected from a game, that's enough of a penalty. And so that's why I thought he shouldn't have got suspended. Now, I do understand why the NBA made this move. They're not in the business of judging intentions. They're just looking at what the end result was, what happened on the floor. We may never know. We probably will never know what LeBron was thinking because obviously he's going to say he didn't mean to do it. So we'll never know what his true intentions were. And so the NBA can't worry about judging that. They just got to go by what happened. And from what I've seen on social media and even people I've been into contact with, not necessarily in the league, but just in general, most of the perception was that LeBron did do it on purpose. I think at least the people I was in touch with, I was in the minority. And so the NBA probably was aware of that perception out there. So it would have been an uproar had Isaiah Stewart gotten a suspension and LeBron doesn't. So I understand it from that perspective as well. And I'll give the NBA some credit because they didn't take into account that the Lakers play at Madison Square Garden tonight on national TV. We all wanted to see LeBron there. It's one of his last trips to the Garden because obviously now he's in the Western Conference, so he's only going there once a year. So they didn't take that into account. They just laid down their ruling. I think this, though, with Isaiah Stewart, I understand he was the victim. He was the one that got hit. He was the one that had to get 5 stitches and all of that. It's unfortunate. But I think his penalty should have been more harsh than LeBron's, not just 1 game to 2 games, which is what it was, but I think there should have been a 2-game separation. So if LeBron, I said initially LeBron doesn't get suspended, Isaiah gets 2. 1 game, I think Isaiah should have got 3 because I can't overstate how important it is for the league to send a message that this just cannot be tolerated. We get it. You got hit. Accidents happen. Things happen. You can easily catch an elbow going for a rebound, and you can't react like this. And so if he had gotten to LeBron, we all heard AD say, we're not going to let anybody run up on our brother like that. If he had gotten to LeBron, somehow it would have been 2 teams going at it. And the fans are very close to the floor. Who knows? I hate to even think what that could have spawned. So they got to send a strong message that under no circumstances will that type of reaction be tolerated. And so that's why I think there should have been a couple game separation between the suspensions.
Well, Chris, you and I are still in alignment. It doesn't change me because I don't believe he should have been suspended either. And looking at the league's announcement, it said the league said he was suspended for recklessly hitting Stewart and initiating an on-court altercation. What did he do? Okay, he hit him. Okay, you say, okay, you want to say he recklessly hit him. Okay, fine. Okay, boom, we will set that aside. Okay, but how did he initiate? What did he do? He didn't run up on Stewart. He didn't, like, break down. Come on, let's go, Stewart, let's do this. No. That's not what he did. It was Stewart. Chris, I believe, had Stewart not reacted the way he did, I don't believe either guy would have gotten suspended. I believe they said it was a flagrant 2. LeBron was ejected. Stewart goes and gets stitches. Probably is not coming back. But because of he didn't instigate it, but because he brought it to a boy, he wouldn't let it go. The league like, well, damn. I'm looking at him like, hold on. Keith Morris runs into the side when Yoke tries to throw a pass. He runs into him. They didn't deem that reckless. They get on Yoke. They suspend Yoke for a game for shoving him in the back. I'm confused, and that's what I'm looking at, Chris. I'm like, hold on. So I can make the case that every flagrant 2, because you said the contact is unnecessary to the neck, head, or shoulder area. So I can make a case that in a flagrant 2, every incident is reckless. So so are you saying, because Chris, you said they didn't want to get in the thing of judging intent, but it seems to me they judged intent because it seems to me, looking at my vantage point, that they say, LeBron, yeah, we believe you meant to do that. So that's why we're going to give you a game. Because reckless is like, nah, I can't go look. They're fighting for position, and things happen. If I had never seen a guy catch an elbow at the free throw line or a guy get hit in the head, I was like, you know what, Bron? Yeah, you deserve to go set that thing down. But because we've all seen it, I'm going to disagree. I disagree with the suspension. I believe Stewart, had he not reacted the way he did, neither guy would have gotten suspended.
I tried to tell both you guys yesterday.
You was hoping for this.
I just saw it coming because LeBron James obviously had to be suspended. I said 2 games to Isaiah's 3, and it was 1-2. But he obviously had to be suspended because this was obviously no accident. This was so obviously intentional. It was a dirty play. It was a cheap shot. If you see it one more time, I just needed one clean look at it to see that LeBron drew back as he looked at Isaiah face to face, and he balled his fist, and he fired on him. And it looks to me like his elbow first caught Isaiah in the soft tissue above the eye and cut that. And then as he followed through, it was the basic forearm shiver across the face, and then the back of the balled fist caught Isaiah right in the mouth. And blood was everywhere because he was bleeding from above the eye and the mouth.
Yeah, caught him in the corner.
I'm sorry. He just busted him right in the face. And I don't know why he did it. There was a flashpoint moment of frustration where he just lost it. For one split second, he lost it for the first time in 19 NBA seasons. I know he has no reputation. Obviously, he's not seen as a dirty player. But as Shannon told me earlier in the show, he had a number of friends try to tell him players who aren't dirty can make dirty plays, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he did. And I want to say hooray to the NBA for having the guts to stand up and to validate this on the night that the King plays at Madison Square Garden, the mecca of basketball. To Chris's point, the King, LeBron, has often lit it up at MSG. And you just cut off your nose to spite your face a little bit. You just said, well, we have to take action because they would look foolish if they didn't. Their credibility soars to me because they knew they had to do something they did not want to do, suspend him for 1 game in his lone visit to the Mecca. Bully for them, bravo for them. And again, I don't disagree with Chris's point. Isaiah lost it. He went raging bull. But he was shell-shocked for a moment because he got blasted in the face, and he dropped to a knee, and he got up, and he looked at LeBron, who's coming toward him like, yo, man, I didn't mean to. You didn't mean to. Right. And it took him a moment to process the fact the face of the league just cold-cocked me.
Yeah.
And once it sank in, once the blood started to flow, he lost it. And I can't condemn him for losing it, but I agree, Chris, with your point, because we obviously can't have another Malice at the Palace, and you had potential.
Exactly.
It took all the King's horses and all the King's men to finally subdue him, and then he runs down the locker room hall and runs left because he was trying to do the loop to come all the way back around to get LeBron. And you can't tell me that LeBron didn't need some police protection to get out of that arena.
Man, LeBron walked to the locker room by himself.
Did he?
Yeah, sure did.
I bet he walked out of the locker room before the game was over just to get out from under that scenario.
I ain't going nowhere.